Creating a media kit or a speaker one sheet can be really important tools for professionals looking to promote their expertise or services. Keynote speakers, content creators, I am both of those things. I'm speaking to you, and by the end of this video, you'll come away equipped with the goods to sell yourself like a pro. Stay with me. I'm Phil Pallen, a brand strategist. Welcome to my channel where I promise practical advice to build your brand. Today's very practical. We're going to be working and designing a professional looking media kit or speaker one sheet, as it's often called. Regardless of which you're creating today, the process you'll follow is the same, and I'm walking through that today in this video. You need a framework and some best practices to follow that I'll teach you, and you need a good tool to pull this off. And for that, I'm partnering with Adobe Express, an amazing free platform to create standout content for your brand and your business. Did I mention that I've also got a template for you to save time on the creation process? Stick with me. We'll get to that. Let's jump right into this right now. Let's start here with this free resource from the Speaker Lab, a popular resource for public speakers. When creating a media kit, we want to start with this. Defining your purpose. You're aiming to secure speaking engagements or attract media interviews. You're going to need essential elements like a professional headshot, a bio, and testimonials. You'll see on the template that we customized, there are placeholders for those. Both of these are opportunities to showcase your skills and target your audience to make your one sheet or your media kit stand out. Be thinking now about what your goal is. Also be thinking about how you're going to present your topics and benefits clearly. This is one of many free resources online that will get you started thinking about where to begin. What is the goal? So once we know our purpose, it's time to gather some information. Here's how we're going to do that. Next, we'll use the templates that I'm sharing with you that are free for reference. When gathering essential information for your media kit or your speaker one sheet, you want to start with a personal bio that highlights your professional experience and achievements. This, again, is just a starting point. Make sure that you have high resolution photographs as well. Here we have one on the about page as well as the intro page. On the speaker one sheet, obviously the idea is to keep this one sheet, so I've added two photos up at the top. Obviously, you can replace these with your own. You get the idea. You obviously want to list your contact information, phone number, email, website, social media links. I've got those right here. And detail services. This is really important. You want to detail statistics, reach, as well as audience and services. Still working on this page, but you want to list all of that out. Again, this is just a reference point. These elements will provide a comprehensive and appealing overview for potential partners or clients. Next, I want to highlight some key achievements. What are the most notable milestones, like awards, recognitions, or significant past speaking engagements? Here are some examples. Our templates today will serve as an example, but I'll use myself as another one. I've got an existing speaking page on my website that I can leverage to very easily get the information I need already gathered for my media kit or one sheet. You want to highlight your key achievements. This is going to help you build credibility, showcase your expertise. If you've got logos from media companies or previous engagements, fantastic. Maybe you've been named Best Motivational Speaker by the Speakers Guild or something like that. That's definitely something you want to include. Additionally, highlight featured media appearances. I've got some examples of me on stage. I've got some of the conferences that I've done. I've got my media examples right here. These elements not only enhance your media kit, but they also provide solid proof of your impact and reach. So put them in there. Now that we've got what we need content-wise, let's get designing, and I have a little trick for finding inspiration. Of course, there are lots of places you could go to find inspiration or even purchase templates. I don't think you need to worry about that today since I'm handing you one, at least as a starting point. One of the things I love to do is I love to go to Pinterest, and I love to pay attention to what appears above the fold. So that's before I even have to scroll. Pinterest does a really good job as a visual search engine of showcasing things at the top that are likely good and accurate for whatever it is that search query that you've entered. Now, my recommendation, don't buy any of these, don't use any of these, just look at them at a high level for ideas on how you can get layout inspiration for your own. Again, I'm giving you a starting point today. This is a little more designed than the template I've made, but these are easy elements that you can recreate in Adobe Express. Really easy. For example, this is a template for user-generated content UGC on Behance. We love Behance. Just an example, right? You don't need necessarily this template, but you can glance at this while you're updating the design of the template that I'm giving you today. So that's a little tip. Use Pinterest, which is an amazing visual search engine. Now for a few more examples, these are actual client projects of mine, media kits where I've been hired to take this a step further. You're going to see here, and this is good advice for you when designing your media kit or speaker one sheet, it's essential to choose a clean, professional design that aligns with your brand. In this case, this is Julia Paley OMG, and it looks the vibe of her brand, which I've done here in Express. Another client of mine, Kelly from Sweat Love Soul, a totally different color palette, but you can see here a nice clean design. This is still dummy text. We're still working out the content for this, but you get a flavor of what she's all about and you get a sense of her brand. Another client of mine is Simon T. Bailey, okay? He's a keynote speaker. So again, matching the vibe of his brand, as well as summarizing the numbers here and the information that's most important. I love this. Actual live links to see videos of Simon in action as a speaker. And one more example of my client, Teresa, here. This is a speaker one sheet, strongly inspired by the template that I'm sharing today. You've seen in all of these examples that you want to use your brand colors and logos consistently throughout the document for that cohesive look, ensuring the layout is easy to navigate, it's visually appealing, and easy to keep the reader engaged. A well-designed media kit not only looks good, it also helps convey your message effectively. And once we've got the design down, let's now talk about how to add media elements like videos and hyperlinks to past speaking engagements, for example. Also, calls to action, those are very important. Let's come back to this page of Simon's media kit and talk about hyperlinking. Now, obviously, in a PDF, you cannot have a video embedded, but there's ways of working around this. So for example, we added a thumbnail from that speaking engagement. Could be a screenshot or it could be a still image that was taken from that moment. And I may start here by going to elements and then drilling down on shapes. And here I'll click view all on rectangles and I'm gonna find this, which looks like a button, in this case, rounded edges. I'll adjust the shape, I'll plop it in the center of my image, and I'm gonna sample this beautiful bright yellow, which is Simon's signature brand color. Maybe I want to adjust the opacity. I'll put this at 90% so you can still see a little bit of that image in behind. And then I'm gonna add a text field. We're gonna say watch now. I'm gonna drag this over top of my button. And very excitingly, in Adobe Express, we can select that text, then click link options after we right click. And here we can actually paste a URL for Simon's speaking engagement. I made that a little bit big, so I'm just gonna make some final adjustments using the guides in Adobe Express to know that it's centered. And now, once that link is set, I can open that in a new window and it's gonna take me straight to that speaking engagement. It's looking good, but we need a few other people to confirm that, not just ourselves, and that is why we review and proofread. Pulling this page up on my website that I had up earlier, I'm gonna scroll all the way down to the bottom where I've got my speaker one sheet. After creating yours, you're gonna wanna review and edit it thoroughly, proofreading grammar, spelling errors, all of that. Good idea to have a second set of eyes on that. Once you've got it, it's time to distribute it. The easiest place for you to do that is to upload this to your website, have it as a downloadable PDF. So if I click this, it will literally download that PDF and I'll be able to open it in my downloads folder. Also consider compressing this, and you can do that in Adobe Express. Let me show you. I said Adobe Express, but I actually meant Adobe Acrobat. They work hand in hand in many ways. This is a free PDF compressor that you can use online. I'll link to it in the description below. In this case, I'm gonna go for high compression actually, so that I can email this, make it easy for it to be a small file that I can email around. Once again, linking to this tool in the description below. It is free, that is awesome, and there you go. There is my speaker one sheet that I can easily now attach to an email and not worry about it not getting to my sender. Okay, you might think we're done, but there's one hugely important final step. That is maintenance and routine updating of this thing. This isn't just about creating it once and calling it done. There's a good chance your career is going to evolve and there's going to be new things for you to brag about for those people that are thinking about hiring you. That might seal the deal. So by having this in Adobe Express, it is so easy to be able to hop in here, change any of these elements, text, even images. Let's say you get an updated brand photo shoot. Let's say you get a great testimonial from a client. Make sure you do something with this information and you put I suggest having a reoccurring calendar invite once a month or once every 3 months, certain cadence that makes sense for you, and hop in here and update this media kit with the newest and greatest examples of things that are worthy of bragging about in your career. So many people let years, at least months, go by without updating this, and it's essential that you're constantly thinking about what are the ways that I can describe my own brand and the ways in which I work with my clients, as well as updating your pricing. That's also super, super important. All of that is so easy to update and maintain right here in Adobe Express. Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground in creating your media kit or your speaker one sheet. I hope you found this helpful. Remember that I've got templates for both linked in the description below. Truly, none of this would be made possible or with this degree of ease if it weren't for Adobe Express, who I've proudly partnered with for this video. I've been an Adobe Express ambassador for more than 3 years, and I'm continually amazed at how this platform continues to improve and iterate and make our lives easier. Highly, highly recommend checking it out for yourself. Linked in the description below. Please share how things go. And if you've got any lingering questions along the way, comment below. Let's keep the conversation going on down there. Respond to those personally. And if you enjoyed this video, give it a like. That helps other people discover these videos, which we work hard to create for you. And subscribe for more of my videos on branding, positioning, building, and promoting your brand. Next, I'm sharing a few other videos I think you'll be interested in. I'm Phil Pallen. Thanks for watching those. Coming up next.